everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's just Clarice, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve a full glam look celebrating St. Patrick's Day. It is coming up this Sunday. This holiday in particular has a special place in my heart. I am half Irish, so I feel like I've got to pay tribute to my roots. I don't really do any of the traditional St. Patrick's Day things, I guess. I don't drink green beer because I hate the taste of beer, and I don't drink shamrock shakes because, well, I can't drink milkshakes. It's lactose intolerance. But I can do this, which is my makeup. And I have done a green and gold makeup look on my channel before, but that one was really subtle, really subdued, kind of smoky and very wearable, whereas today's look is going to be just big and blown up and festive looking. So if you want to see how I achieve that, go ahead, keep on watching, and without any further ado, let's just dive on in to today's video. I've got you zoomed in super close to my face because we are going to do the eyes. I always start with the eyes, and I would highly recommend, for those of you who normally do your base first, if you're going to try to recreate this look, go in with the eyes first, because we're going to be using a lot of shimmer shades today. And if you do decide to use the same palette as me, this is the Wet n Wild Stop Playing Safe palette. These do tend to have some fallout, so it's just safer. If you decide to do your base first, then just lay down a lot of powder under your eyes to catch whatever falls down. So first we have to prime our eyelids. I'm just going to go in with some concealer, and I'm just going to lay that down on my eyes and blend it out. So now that we have that all over the lid, we're going to go in with our first transition shade. This is just laying something down in the crease, and I am going to go in with that first transition shade in the palette, the top light brown there. Just taking it on a fluffy tapered brush, running it through the crease. Next, we're going to go in with that dark brown shade at the bottom of the palette, and we're going to focus this in the outer corner and really smoke it out. And now I'm bringing it in as well. And it's okay if it's not super precise at this point because we are going to be cleaning it up. That is why we started with the eyes, give us some wiggle room. Speaking of cleaning up, before I move on to the next shade, I am going to take a makeup wipe and I'm just going to clean up the outer corners. And I'm going to take it a little bit up top just to clean things up and keep it looking nice. So once you have that cleaned up the way that you like it, just blend softly around the edges like I did so that you don't have any harsh lines. And you'll get something that kind of looks a little bit like this. So now comes the fun St. Patrick part. We are going to grab that gorgeous emerald green shade in the palette, and we are going to take that all over the lid, from the inner corner all the way out. Really, really going to pack this on. Do not be shy with this shade. Grabbing it on my brush and going in. See what I mean about really going in with the shade and not being shy? So you essentially just cover your entire lid and follow along with the shape on the outside, but keeping it a little bit more focused to the actual lid area and not taking it too high up in the crease. And if you do end up getting a little bit too much green up there, of course you can always go back in with your brown shades and clean up, re-intensify those mattes before moving on to the next step. And that is where we're going to leave the eyes for now. It's time to move on to the rest of our face. So when you're going out and you're expecting to get a little crazy on St. Patrick's Day, you're going to want your skin looking good the entire time. So I would recommend going in with something that's a little bit hydrating. I'm going to be taking the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. It's going to do a couple pumps, and I'm going to take that all over the center of my face. This is a really nice hydrating primer, but it's not too heavy, so it's perfect for laying down in the T-zone where you don't want anything too greasy or overly moisturizing. Then for the rest of my face, as well as the center of my forehead, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Master Prime Hydrate and Smooth Primer. It's not super heavy, but it feels more so like an actual moisturizer. I would especially recommend moisturizing in the under eye area, because under the eyes, if it gets really cakey and heavy, it's going to age you and make you look a lot older. So now that we have that laid down, we're going to go in with foundation, and I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation simply because I really love this foundation and I haven't used it in a while because I've been playing with some of the other newer foundations that I bought in the last month or so. So I just want to swipe some of this on my skin and see if I still love it as much as I did before. For concealer, I'm going to be going in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 16. Now, I don't want this look to be too matte, so I'm actually going to be going in with my Bella Pie Banana Setting Powder. This is more of a shimmery setting powder than, say, my Ben Nye or my Coty Airspun. Also, I do want to note that this foundation shade that I'm using is a little dark. It's actually my summer color. Right now, I'm still in my pale winter color, so you're going to notice a distinct difference between the color of my face and the color of my body. I also want to point out that I have gotten powder on my shirt right here, so that's nice. I'm really making sure that my nose and forehead are powdered, as those are the areas on my face that tend to get the oiliest. So now we're just going to melt all of that in with the Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist with rose water and green tea. I absolutely love this spray. It smells so good, and it works wonders at melting all of your powders and just making your makeup look gorgeous. For blush today, I went in with the ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Weirdo, which is a nice soft mauve color, and I used a stippling brush to apply that to my cheeks. I like the stippling brush method because it just applies the lightest flush of color without being too heavy, which is what I wanted to go for today. And I really like the ColourPop Pressed Powder Blushes because they have a little bit of a sheen that gives your cheeks a nice, healthy looking flush. So not the most attractive face to stop on, but I did forget to mention which bronzer I used. It was the ColourPop Pressed Powder Bronzer in the shade Afternoon Delight. I really like the ColourPop bronzers because, again, they have a little bit of a sheen to them, which gives your skin a healthy looking bronzy glow. For highlight, we're going to go in with my favorite highlight at the moment, the e.l.f. Shimmering Highlight Powder in the shade Sunset Glow. It's just a very natural looking peachy golden highlight that you can build up and make more intense. Take that a little bit into the brow bone area. I like connecting my brow bone highlight to my regular highlight sometimes. When it hits the light, it just looks really nice and cohesive. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So now we're going to go in and we're going to finish up the bottom lash line. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take that dark brown transition shade and we're going to start dragging that in really close to the bottom lash line. But we're only going to take it to about mid-pupil. And now it's time to add a pop of gold. I'm going to be taking the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Pure Gold. And I'm going to take this all along my waterline, keeping it really nice and tight to that waterline. We don't want it spilling over really too much at all. I also happen to have a bronze eyeshadow shade, so I'm just going to take some of this and I'm going to stamp it on top of that eyeliner just to make sure that it stays in place and doesn't wipe away. And now for the final pop, we're going to add a little bit of gold to the inner corner. And I'm going to take my ColourPop Single in the shade Now and Zen, which looks like an intense white shimmer in the pan, but actually reflects as a really rich, intense gold when it hits the light just right on the skin. Alrighty, so off camera just now, I finished off the eye look with some mascara. And I think it turned out really nicely. But to finish off this entire look, we need some lips. Another big part of St. Patty's Day, as it's so affectionately called, you'll notice a lot of people walking around wearing shirts sporting the phrase, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." What color says "kiss me" more than a nice, intense red? So I have 2 red lipsticks here from MAC Cosmetics. They are both cream lipsticks. And I'm going to start with the darker shade. This is Dubonnet, and it is one of their amplified lipsticks. It's a nice deep red, and I'm going to go all over my lips, sort of outlining them with this shade. But we're not done yet because I want to make the lip look a little bit brighter. So now I'm going to take the shade My Inner Femme, which is a bright cherry red, and I'm just gonna pop this into the center. And there we go. That is the final look. And there you guys go. That is it. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on this very fun, flirty, and full glam St. Patrick's Day look. Let me know if you guys want to see any other tutorials from me in the comments down below. And if you actually like how this turned out, is there anything that you would have done differently? Let me know down there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. And make sure to hit that subscribe button because I post brand new videos every single Tuesday and Friday. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!